Woof! What a bloody red Friday. So, what the heck happened today to the markets? Well, let's dive into exactly what I believe to be a little bit of an overreaction based on what is leading this $1,000 point drop on the Dow Jones today only. All right. And I'm going to share with you some opportunities I took today, some stocks that I took or added to my existing position in order to make sure I ride the wave back up, because don't be fooled, folks. It's going to come back. Now, if you look at some of the major indexes, I don't even want to get into the Russell 2000, but the S&P, everything is down more than 2.5%. All right. On news of what? Dow plunging 800% in worst one-day loss since October 2020. And this loss is attributed to fears around the Federal Reserve could hike interest rates more than expected and digested days of disappointing earnings results from major companies. Well, it is kind of true and not totally true. Why? Because I'm looking at the fear index here, the VIX, all right? The VIX gives you an indication of how the sentiment on the market is. It is up 24%, more than 24% on a single day. What happened between today and yesterday? Yesterday we had pretty interesting earnings from Tesla, from airlines, from some of the major oil companies. And it's going to continue to be the case for the last, the remainder of the month. So I don't really buy the disappointment around earnings. But as far as interest rate goes, this is not new news, all right? This is not new news. Why? Because we already knew back in March from the Federal Reserve that 0.5% interest rate was still on the table for the upcoming May meeting. So why in the heck now people are panicking all of a sudden as if this was just the first time we are hearing about interest rates to raise? Well, inflation was still high. We knew that from the last CPI data report that came out a couple of weeks ago. 8.5 or 8.2%. So yeah, the Federal Reserve had to do something. We already knew that. And that's why I believe this could be a little bit of an overreaction, because the VIX, coupled to the bunch of points and the performance of the major indexes that we're seeing now, is just like poof, it's unbelievable. Now, what did I do based on the fact that, according to my personal opinion, which by the way might be wrong, all right? I won't sit here in front of you guys and believe or act like I know everything, because nobody can predict the future. But based on this, I predict that when the market is overreacting, as always, they tend to throw the bathwater with the baby in it. And that's why we have a bunch of good quality stocks that were also oversold today, like big time, all right? Like if you take, for example, some of the small cap energy, all right? Look, 8.76% down today. Why the heck this stock, who just got an upgrade to be trading around $100 in the short-term future, all right? This is a stock that can potentially double in value in just a matter of a couple of weeks. Why in the heck would it be down almost 9%? Even if the barrel is still above $100. So you kind of see what I'm, going with it, all right? So if you take other stocks such as the airlines that just, publish earnings, they weren't as down because they were continuing the rally that started a couple of days ago based on the very strong demand going back into, the travel sector, all right? If you even take Tesla, all right? Tesla also managed to close in the red. But this to give you an example of, because the baby water was thrown with the baby in it, well, when this fear, which is, by the way, according to me, is clearly overdone, people will now realize that, man, this is a quality stock and it's not supposed to be down. So let me buy it because right now it's way oversold. And based on that, you will see a reversal in some of these quality stocks. And the quality stocks I'm talking about here is everything within the energy sector, anything from ETF to small and mid caps fund or even the big major. Why? Because we're gonna have a tremendous amount of cash flow that they made on this quarter and in the upcoming quarters in terms of the guidance for the future, and also dividends coming back up and buyback program. All of these combined, it makes no sense to be selling or not to be buying stocks within the energy sector. All right. Same thing with airlines. If you look at the jet, sector, no reason for it to be down 2% today because the upcoming demand is so strong that, well, these stocks are only gonna go up. All right. And then you maybe have healthcare, you maybe have, retail, but these two definitely are the ones that I heavily bought today. And just to add to the position that I already had, and then I'm gonna swing it by the time it gets to, I don't know, to a level that I'm comfortable selling. That will be definitely a good swing trade. All right. So hopefully, as we get into next week, the market will kind of recorrect itself when people realize that, well, now we have to adjust to the fact that interest rates are now a thing of the present and the future. So this is what happens when the market goes down because of a lot of fear. You need to make sure you get a little bit of money to work. That's how people get rich. That's how people get to financial freedom. So more to come on this during this weekend. But as far as this price action today we saw, to me, it's a little bit of overreaction. So